Hi students, welcome back to Learning Management System. Today we will discuss Dynamic Memory Allocation, Unit 1 and Session 7 of the subject Data Structures using C. The course outcome of this unit is illustrate the concept of pointers and dynamic memory allocation with programs. In this session, we will discuss the introduction of dynamic memory allocation and allocating a block of memory and allocating multiple blocks of memory. We'll discuss these concepts in this unit. Okay, students. So, what is dynamic memory allocation? This is what is dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic means what? Runtime. Okay, not static, dynamic. Runtime. Memory means computer memory. Allocation means what? Giving or taking some amount of memory and giving it to the program. This is called allocation. So dynamic memory allocation is the process of allocating memory to the program at runtime. Okay, you have seen compile time and runtime programs. Okay, compile time is a static one. Whatever the memory required for the program is calculated by the compiler, that is compile time memory. And at the runtime, while executing a program, compiler need to determine what amount of memory is required, that is dynamic memory allocation. Okay, student. So it is the process of allocating memory at runtime is known as dynamic memory allocation. Simple definition. What is that? I repeat it. The process of allocating memory at runtime is known as dynamic memory allocation. Based on the requirement, memory can be allocated or deallocated. Okay. So here is the process of memory allocation or dynamic memory allocation. You see this diagram, memory allocation process, what it contains. This diagram contains local variables, free memory, global variables, and C program instructions. All the local variables of the program are stored in the memory region called stack. Okay, local variables like this one. If I declare int here, for your understanding purpose, I am writing it. If there is a function, say int x comma y, these are local variables. X and y are local variables. So these variables are stored in stack, in the stack area. So this stack is a linear data structure like arrays. Okay, and there is another memory area which is called permanent storage area, in which global variables are stored. Then what is global variable? Global variables which are declared or defined outside the main function. Okay, for example, here you might have seen in your C program like define size 100 int main. So this size variable will become global variables, or like int count equal to 10. So this count of type integer, this will also become a global variable. So such variables are stored in the permanent storage area. So what this consists, permanent storage area? It consists of computer or CPU registers. Okay. C program instructions and global variables are stored in CPU registers, what we call it as permanent storage area, and local variables are stored in stacks. So not only local variables are stored in the stack, but also functions are also stored in stack. Understood, students? So coming to this part, then what is this free memory? The area in between the stack and permanent storage area is called heap, which is a free memory, and on this memory only we concentrate in this session. Whatever the dynamic allocation of memory takes place, that takes place in this region called heap memory. Okay, students. The program instructions and global and static variables are stored in the region called permanent storage area. Okay, static variables, global variables are stored in registers. Okay, and the local variables are stored in another area called stack. So ಇವೆರಡರದ್ದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. What kind of variables are stored in stack and what kind of variables are stored in this permanent storage area. Global variables, static variables are stored in this region, whereas local variables or functions are stored in this region. Okay, then the memory space that is located between these two regions. What are those two regions? These two regions, stack region and permanent storage area region. ಇವೆರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಯಾವ memory region ಇರುತ್ತೋ, which is available for dynamic memory allocation during program execution, this memory is called heap. Okay, students. So heap memory ಅನ್ನ ಯಾದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ರನ್ ಟೈಮ್, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನು ಮೆಮೊರಿಯನ್ನ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಡೈನಾಮಿಕ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಶನ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. So the size of heap keeps changing when program is executed due to creation and death of variables that are local to functions and blocks. So ಇದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಹೀಪ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದನ್ನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವ ಯೂಸರ್ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾವ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೆಮೊರಿನ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದಟ್ ದ ಹೀಪ್ ಸೈಜ್ either it will grow or it will shrink. ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, decrease ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. It depends on the creation and death of the variables which are local to those functions and blocks. Right? In this heap area, dynamic memory is allocated and deallocated. So in our chapter in discuss ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ dynamic memory allocation ಅಂತ. The entire chapter concepts is the discussion of heap area only. Heap memory, whatever the memory allocation or deallocation takes place, that takes place in heap memory. Understood, students? Fine. So before discussing the further concepts, first let us be clear with the difference between stack and heap. ಇವೆರಡರ ನಡುವೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಏನದ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ In subsequent chapters or units like stacks, queues, there we use these concepts heap. That is why you need to understand the difference between stack and heap. So basically, stack is a linear data structure, whereas heap is a hierarchical data structure. Example of linear data structure like linked list, okay, arrays. So stack ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ linear data structure ಇರುತ್ತೆ, whereas heap is a hierarchical data structure. Hierarchical data structures like trees, graphs, okay. So stack is a linear data structure, whereas heap is a hierarchical data structure. ಇದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮತ್ತು heap ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವಂತ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್. Second difference is stack memory will never become fragmented. What do you mean by fragmented or fragmentation? This concept comes in operating system. There you will learn in detail. So just for your information, fragmentation is nothing but dividing the memory blocks into small pieces. Okay. So stack memory fragmentation ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, whereas in heap memory can become fragmented as blocks of memory are first allocated then freed. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಮೊರಿ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ನಾವು ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೈ fragmentation takes place in heap memory and it will not take place in stack memory. This is the second difference. And third difference is stack accesses local variables only. As I already told you, local variables are stored in stack, whereas heap allows you to access variables globally. This is the third difference. Stack variables can't be resized, whereas heap variables can be resized. Stack variable ಅನ್ನು ನಾವು resize ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. That is why we move for dynamic memory allocation. Static memory allocate ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Once it is compile time ಒಂದ್ಸರಿ memory allocate ಆಯ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ we cannot resize it. If you want to resize the memory dynamically at the runtime, then we use the heap memory, or heap variables can be resized. Stack memory is allocated in a contiguous block, whereas heap memory is allocated in any random order. So contiguous block andre sequence nagirutte, memory blocks anna sequence nagirutte. Last time 1000 memory block allocate agide for integer data type andre, next time 1004 memory block will be allocated for the next variable. Likewise, whereas in heap memory it is not in order. Okay students, coming to the next difference, stack doesn't require to deallocate variables, whereas in heap deallocation is needed. So allocation dynamically no ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ stack ಅಲ್ಲಿ, therefore there is no need of deallocation. Compiler will automatically deallocates it, right? But in heap we dynamically allocate the memory, and this is done by the programmer. Hence we must deallocate the allocated memory, otherwise ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಸೆಗ್ಮೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಬರೋಂತ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಡ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ರೈಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಡಿಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ದ memory. Okay students, then stack allocation and deallocation are done by compiler instructions. Stack the allocation and deallocation, it is done automatically by the compiler, whereas heap allocation and deallocation is done by the programmer. So it is the responsibility of the programmer to allocate and deallocate the memory size. Okay. Next we will discuss the memory allocation functions. To achieve the dynamic memory allocation, we need these four functions, that is malloc, alloc, free and realloc. The following are the four memory management functions defined in library of C that can be used for allocation and freeing of memory whenever required. So students, in which library header file these functions are defined? Can anyone guess? So let me tell you, these four functions, malloc, alloc, free and realloc, they are available in standard library function, standard library header file, that is stdlib.h. So whenever you are using these functions in your program, there you must include #include stdlib.h. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು. Now let us discuss one by one what is the work of each function. Coming to the first function, that is malloc. This function allocates required size of bytes and returns a pointer to the first byte of the allocated space. So whatever the user specifies the size, that size of bytes is returned through the pointer, and that pointer will point to the first byte of the allocated space. So single block of memory allocate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ we use this malloc function. What if we required multiple blocks of memory? For example, two-dimensional array ಇದೆ of size 3/4 ಇದೆ. In that case, we use calloc function. This calloc function allocates space for an array of elements, initializes them to 0, and then returns a pointer to the memory. Okay, students. So we allocate the memories by using the malloc or calloc function, and we perform some operations in that memory area. After operations are got over, then next job is to free them. ಮೆಮೊರಿ ಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಡಿಅಲೋಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಆಪರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ಗೆ ಮೆಮೊರಿಯನ್ನ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮರ್ to explicitly free the allocated memory. So to achieve that, one more function is available called free. It will freeze previously allocated space. Okay, students. And the next one is realloc. Realloc function modifies the size of the previously allocated space. So previously allocated space, if we want to do any changes, or if you want to add additional memory, or already allocated memory is large and we want to reduce, in that case realloc is used. Okay, students. Now let us see the first function, allocating a block of memory. Single block of memory ನಮಗೆ allocate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ we use the malloc function. Its syntax is use a pointer, cache type, malloc and byte size. So byte size ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು byte ಬೇಕಾಗಿದೆಯೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಸೈಜ್ ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. Pointer ptr is a pointer of typecast. ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅದೇ ಟೈಪ್ ನಾವು ಪಾಯಿಂಟರ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. The malloc returns a pointer to an area of memory with size of byte size. Here it is one example, int star ptr int malloc of size, how many blocks of memory you want, you can specify here, into size of the data type. So here simply I am using the int types memory, it will return 4 bytes of memory will be allocated. So let me show you this through the example. Let me write here int star pointer, which is equal to int star malloc size of this type int, right? To check whether it is allocated or not, or simply we can use by using the printf statement, or you can check the if statement whether pointer is equal to null or not null. You can check in both the way. So here size of ptr is equal to %t size of pointer, not pointer, the pointer allocated blocks. For that you have to use star. Okay, return 0. Run it. Size of pointer is 4, right? So if you don't use star, let us see what will be the output. It is 8. So can anybody tell me why it is so? If I use star pointer, it is giving me 4 bytes, whereas if I don't use the star, then it is giving 8 bytes. The reason is, in previous session I told you the size of the pointer is depends on the machine architecture. If it is 32-bit CPU, then by default it takes 4 bytes. If it is 64, then it takes 8 bytes. So here you have to check for number of blocks or bytes are allocated. That gives you the 4 size. Understood? Fine. So function malloc for this declaration, say malloc 5 into size of int. So this is int size is 4 bytes and I am taking 5 into that size. So 5 into 4 is 20. 20 bytes of memory is allocated. Okay, students. So after this declaration, where pointer points, the pointer points to the first location or 0th location. Okay, you can see this diagram, address of the first byte. Here 10 bytes are allocated for the pointer, character pointer, and this pointer will point to the first or 0th position. The malloc allocates a block of contiguous bytes. The allocation can fail if the space in the heap is not sufficient to satisfy the request. So heap memory required amount of space ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ allocation process fail ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. We'll see in the next program how to check whether the memory is allocated or not. Okay, as of now you understand this one, and now we will move to the next function, that is calloc, allocating multiple blocks of memory. So calloc is another memory allocation function that is used to allocate multiple blocks of memory. Single block of memory allocate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ we used malloc function, whereas multiple blocks of memory ಅನ್ನ allocate ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ calloc function ಅನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. This function allocates space for an array of elements initializes them to 0 and then returns a pointer to the memory. So this is the syntax of this one. So pointer, cast type, calloc. How many blocks of memory you want? Here you have to specify here 10 blocks, 20 blocks. Then element size. ಯಾವ type ಇದೆ ಅದರದ್ದು size. See here, calloc function, and here 5 blocks I need of the type integer type. So here 5 blocks of 4 bytes each is allocated dynamically. So ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ದು ಸೈಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇರುತ್ತೆ 4 bytes ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Such that 4 into 5 blocks, which is 20 bytes of memory is allocated. Totally ಎಷ್ಟು bytes of memory allocate ಆಗುತ್ತೆ 20 bytes of memory is allocated. For example, consider the structure student and name, age, and long int id number. So what is the size of this structure? The size of the structure is the summation of individual member size. So here 3 members of the structure: name, age, and id num. So name is the array. So array size is 20 of data type character. So each byte of each character byte takes 1 bytes of memory. Hence totally it is 20 bytes. And what is the size of this age? Float takes 4 bytes and long int takes 8 bytes. Okay, totally the size of this structure member will be variable will be 32. Okay, and a pointer is declared st pointer for this structure, pointer to structure, and here I am taking one more variable class size, which is 2. So now allocate the memory for this structure pointer, st pointer record star calloc class size. So here class size is 2 and size of record is record size is it is 32. Hence totally 64 bytes of memory is allocated for this structure. Okay students, so we will see the program of malloc calloc functions in the next session. Okay students, thank you for watching this video. We'll see you in the next session.